Hi, I'm Ollie and welcome to whatever this is. I would like to preface with the fact that me and my friends, a couple of weeks ago, probably over a month ago, decided, well, I mostly organized this, but we decided to each make our own presentation about anything we wanted, and then present it to each other. And this is what I did, and I kind of just wanted to show you guys what I did. I have a half-finished script I'll read off of for a while, and then I'll give up on that, and then just wing it. So, welcome to my presentation for tonight, and let me introduce this incredibly important and monumental presentation on what I believe is something that culturally impacts us every day, and if not, at least it impacts my mind. I would like to introduce The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess bosses and mini-bosses, ranked by how fuckable they are. By me, Ollie. So, the first thing that I must establish is the grading criteria. The rating, as you will. It's how I will decide the fuckability of these bosses and mini-bosses, and on what points to consider in my ratings. Now, how I will rate these dastardly adversaries was difficult to consider. However, I came up with roughly 4 main criteria to judge them on, such as how difficult it was to beat how difficult it was to beat the fucker, like how do you defeat this foe, how frustrating was it. Okay, seriously, if they piss me off too much, then they're in trouble. So, okay, with the next is appearance. Now, I know I am considered a monster fucker, you could ask anyone that knows me, but, you know, them looking monsterly won't actually affect their rating too much, since there are much more humanoid foes on this list. Now, we have dateability. This is sort of based off the, like, what I would dub the Brian David Gilbert style of criteria, you know, no big deal. It's like, you know, can I see myself at a nice restaurant with them? Can they take me to an Olive Garden? Will we get along romantically? You know, will they hold my hand in, like, while walking on the beach in the sunset? You know. And can they take me... I think that was self-explanatory. Okay. So, let's first start off by going through the main bosses of the game. We will be going through an order of which they appear in the game, and I'm just doing that because it helps me make this a lot easier to organize. So, firstly, we have Diababa. I'm not entirely sure if I pronounced that right. Okay, let's remember that the first time that I have played this game, I was 12 years old, and I will be basing the non-sexual game mechanic heavy criteria off of my first experiences with these adversaries. Mostly because I have played Twilight Princess multiple times, at least 4 times on the Wii, and also the Wii U, the HD remake. That was so good. I got an amiibo, it's awesome. Anyways. So this would technically qualify as my first boss battle I've ever done in a video game. Mostly because I was a wuss with video games, and I had to always have my brother help me, and he did not play this game before, so he could not help me. And I followed a lot of Zelda dungeon tutorials and, like, walkthroughs, which, you know, shout out to them. They saved my ass. Okay. So right off the bat, this bitch was, of course, very intimidating. Like, okay, you have to throw bombs at the 2 mouths that are the first things that you see whenever you walk in. And what you have to do then, I'm basing this off of memory. What you have to do after you knock those 2 out, that's when the big guy, the big middle mouth comes up, as you see in the image with the interesting eye. Which, you know, in any Zelda game, that's always, like, the main thing you have to hit. A mini-boss that you fight earlier on in the temple shows up to help you throw bombs while using your boomerang. So yeah, that's sort of, it makes him collapse and you can slash the big eye and then whoop-de-doo, you win. So, first thing, like, this is a plant, so it's not that interesting, especially since it is stuck in that room and would not be able to travel with me. So, he cannot take me to an Olive Garden, unfortunately. But it does get a high considerability due to the tongues the two mouths have on either side. You know, what that mouth do. It's pretty interesting to think on how, that would work. Points off, though, for the poisonous lake water that it spews in order to harm you. I would probably get a mad yeast infection. So, 6.5 out of 10. Also, I would like to say, I also added an extra slide on some of these guys to show off concept art, because, like, if there is any, mostly because I enjoy this game in general, and I just wish to share with you guys, like, interesting concept art. I don't have proof that any of it actually is concept art. I mostly Googled it, and it seemed legit, so excuse me if I'm completely wrong, sorry. Alright, next we have Virus. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. Okay, this guy gave me mad anxiety when I first fought him. So, to beat him, you walk in, he's kind of asleep, chained up, and you're like, ooh, cool, that's an interesting monster. And then he fires up, and as you see, the bright light eye on his forehead is where you have to shoot with the bow you get in this dungeon. The thing is that he does charge at you, and then try and swing his chains and arms at you. Very scary. The charging animation legitimately frightened me. And you have to pull on the chains around his ankles while wearing your magnetic iron boots in order to knock him down and simply slash at his forehead. Bring him down to your level. So he was very anxiety-inducing in the past. Now, he is actually the Gordon leader Darbus, but infected with the dark object, which I don't remember the full, actual name of, that Midna is trying to collect. Therefore, it's just Darbus going, sicko mode while corrupted by Twilight magic. So really, I could just fuck Darbus instead and not risk being on fire. He is very tall, though, I'm not gonna lie. And also, chains. Hee hee, haha, kink joke. Anyways. 5 out of 10. Okay, this concept art's pretty cool, honestly. But look at the nipples. Anyways. Okay, so, Morpheel. It wasn't actually that bad to beat when I was younger, and I'm pretty sure the walkthroughs I watched, helped more for that. You swim, you swim around, clearly, you're underwater in your Zora suit so that you can, breathe, and you have to claw shot the eye that goes through these tentacles on the head, as you can see in the bottom right photograph, until, you hit him enough that just exit out of the sand, and you have to chase him around as he swims around. And also, claw shot to the eye on the top of his head, as you can see in the top right photograph. You swim, you claw shot, you slash the eye on its head. Easy peasy. I'm only just reading what I wrote again, and it's very funny. I do have a major fear with giant things that are especially in water and especially sea monsters. It's a very specific fear. But it's one of those fears that you like to agitate, so it's not that bad, He's a slippery little fucker, though. Once he's, swimming around, it's very difficult to get hold of him. And I'm not even entirely sure it's a him. I just assigned a gender to this sea monster for some reason. My bad. So, 7 out of 10. This concept art, it's very sparse in the game for there to be a lot of concept art for some reason, but, look at him go. That's so interesting. I like that. Alright. Okay, so Stallord. I'm gonna say Stallord, and you guys have to just deal with it. I've always just read the names. Okay, so Stallord was actually a really cool boss to fight. You know, it's a big skeleton. You have to spin on what is essentially a Beyblade in order to like a dodge some corpse skeletons that are of possibly past enemies of this monster that they've killed. And you have to like knock out a spine. And everyone loves a cool big skeleton, so like obviously it gets a lot of points. I do enjoy skeletons, and that's mostly why. And honestly, I don't know how I could make it work sexually, but you know, I could. Don't doubt me. But you know, points off for the second half of the battle just being like a lame floating head bumping into you, though. That part of the battle wasn't really interesting. So you know, 8 out of 10. Oh my god. Go off, Stallord. Okay, alright. So Blizzeta genuinely scared me as a kid. The cutscene with her transforming before you with the pterodactyl or banshee screech, it really got me. I do not know why. I was 12. So, in order to fight this wonderful woman, you have to use the ball and chain that you've gotten. Like, you know, you usually have to use the little item you get in the dungeons to then fight the boss. You have to use the ball and chain to destroy her in this while like sliding on what is essentially an ice rink. This is basically just, you know, a possessed Yetta, and she's pretty cute, you know. I'd fuck her, so okay, not bad. We all love a vain baddie. However, you know, her battle rarely featured her at all. Instead, it was her in like an ice shield or ice gazebo thing, as you can see in the top right. She's really not that different from who she is, and I'm still surprised that is considered, like, you know, a female Yeti, I think, or it's just a girl married to a Yeti, but that's fine, honestly, go get it, we love it. But, you know, dock points, she's just in like an ice gazebo, so 7.5 out of 10. Armogoma? I've never learned how to pronounce his name. But also, -million something out of 10. I have arachnophobia. Fun fact, when I was making this presentation, I got one of the images, and it for some reason showed up really, really big, and I jump scared myself. -billion out of 10. Moving on. Oh, right, forgot this was here. I completely forgot that, that this boss looked a lot different in the beta, and it's almost scarier. We basically could have just had like a crab-shaped boss, and it would have been a bit easier to deal with. God. Alright. Okay, we have Kargarok, a very easy 10 out of 10, you know. It was fun, you know, you double claw shot onto cool, like tall pillar things, you knock his armor off, and then claw shot onto him and his tail, and you slash. And obviously, I would fuck the dragon. So, easy. 10 out of 10, sexy cool armor, sexy without armor, sexy dragon. Everyone loves a dragon. Mostly people who play D&D and mostly play bards in D&D will stereotypically understand. Moving on. Okay, Zant. So, his fight encompasses all the other boss fight areas and styles, except for, you know, when they switched to mini-boss tactics instead, which honestly was an interesting choice before ending at his sporadic fighting style in front of Hyrule Castle. Okay, I know a lot of people hated this part of the game, but I actually really liked the twist that he was some goofy, twisty guy instead of, like, the intimidating, mysterious entity that we grew to fear during the game. I felt more endeared to him because of it, and I do like his alien look, and his voice isn't actually annoying to me at all, and also, he's flexible, so, you know, 1000 out of 10. We love it. Alright. Also, can I just mention his fucking, like, crocodile shoes? He has Crocs! Okay, seriously, look at this man and tell me that he isn't gay and you wouldn't fuck him. Like, come on. And I know that image is from Hyrule Warriors, but you know, still, it's one of the best images I could get because you know, the models weren't super detailed as much as they were in the HD remake, and a lot of the HD remake didn't have good pictures of anything. I don't know, it was really hard to find stuff. Okay, Ganondorf, you know, he's kind of easy to beat. He does have a lot of phases. You know, you first find him as like a pig, big pig guy, which that's not sexy to me, so it doesn't really count towards this. I really hated the part where I have to like fight on horseback because mechanics aren't super good. But you know, I managed, and I still manage, even though I get like super annoyed at that part. And I wish we had more lore. Honestly, like if we take a step back from this presentation, I would like to just say I love Twilight Princess a lot, and I really, really wish that we had more lore on that world. Because we only got very vaguely on who Ganondorf is, but we don't know what happened to the Gerudo, and we have a whole lot of theories, but we're just gonna keep moving on. So maybe I'll make a video on just like a bunch of bullshit I can ramble about. I love the drama. I love the drama of his design and who he is. I love his jewelry, especially like easily the best design of Ganon out of the games. The second best would probably be, you know, Ocarina of Time Ganon. So come on, like come on, who doesn't want to fuck the big bad sometimes in video games? So easy like 100,000 out of 10 or whatever that number is. I can't read. I don't know math. Like, look at him. Like, come on. Look at that beauty, that grace, that anger. I may have daddy issues. Alright, I forgot about the stupid fucking outfit in the top left corner. Please look at the outfit. That's very, like, Gerudo-esque, and I think it's based more off of, like, the women's designs of things. I'm pretty sure someone, while designing Ganon, drew that as a joke. And I feel... Okay, I own Hyrule Historia. Unfortunately, I do not have it with me, and I do not know where it is. But I do own it, and I feel like I've seen this design in it. I could be completely hallucinating. So, like, he had a lot more concept art than any of the rest of these guys I'm going to be talking about. It's really weird. And I would like to just point out that this is where my script ends, so we're just going to go off vibes. Now we have the mini-bosses. We have the whole pre-boss build-up. It's usually guarding the new tool that Link has to acquire in that dungeon, temple area that he has to be in. It's pretty interesting that some places he fights in aren't necessarily, like, strictly temples. I don't know, I really thought that was cool in the game. So, excuse me, I'm gonna yawn. It's literally late at night. I'm gonna be putting these also in order of appearance in-game. So, let's do this. Ook. 0 out of 10. He is a dumb monkey, and he pissed me off the first time I tried to fight him. What you essentially do is, you know, he taunts you, slaps his gigantic red behind, and you have to roll into these totem poles that he jumps on top of, and knock him over to / at his ass. So, he's on the negatives only because the losing animation was funny to me, but to me he is 100% just not fuckable. No. Dangoro. That is how I'm going to pronounce it. You guys just have to live with it if I'm wrong. So, he wasn't really hard at all to fight. You know, you get to swing him around when you learn, like, the sumo wrestling stuff. And what you're supposed to do is, you know, iron boots, you're on a magnetic stage. To keep from getting knocked over, usually. And he lifts up and you have to / at his stomach. Just to make him curl up like an armadillo, and then you swing around into, you know, the lava, and, you know, whatever. So, he's a big guy with a soft belly, so, like, you know, he's cute, and he's very polite when he's not beating you up. Like, after you defeat him, he's actually, like, really chill and really cool. Like, I can definitely date and have a nice time with him. He just wants to do his job and protect the bow and arrow. So, like, he's not exactly my type, but, you know, the personality saves it, and I enjoy him. And, like, look at his blue eyes. They're very nice. He's very polite. So, you know, 7 out of 10. Okay, look at this. Seriously. Dangoro, he's a nice-looking dude. He's pretty chill. He's buff. We love him. We all love him. Also, look at that concept art towards the left. Like, it's a bit more, like, replacing lost limbs kind of feel in his feet. But it's more like he just has really small feet and they gave him cool, like, I think magnetic boots that they created themselves? I don't know. It just sort of looks like he found scrap metal and then was like, ooh, I can make this armor even though I don't really need armor. You know, whatever. Okay, the Shadow Kargarok. You know, I wouldn't really consider this a mini-boss, but, you know, the internet says it is for some reason when I looked up a list of mini-bosses just to get the spellings of their names. Excuse me, sorry, I'm going to yawn, you just have to live with it. You know, it becomes a cool friend after Minda takes control. You're mostly just fighting like a shadow bokoblin that rides this thing, and like it's more of just like a big bird Twilight stand-in to the eagle that Link can summon with the grass call. I'm not really entirely sure how to think about this guy. I will say though, like, fuck the part of the game where you have to control him in the cave river system to get to Zora's domain. Fuck that. That's annoying. I hated that. I failed so badly. But yeah, it only has a ranking because, you know, the back of my brain says that I could find a way to fuck it as the monster fucker I am. The only worry I have is if this thing can give consent. I am not sure. We are just going to move on. Okay, Twilight Bloat. Negative fucking 100,000 out of 10. No. Ew, bug. Like, come on guys, I have my limits. My limits are usually bugs. It disgusted me then, and it disgusts me now. And that is absolutely fucking disgusting. I want to murder it. I can and I will. Ew. The Deku Toad. It's just a 3 out of 10 because, like, it's not really... This is not a MILF that I am particularly interested in. But, you know, what'd that mouth do, though? I have to literally kill her children, so, like, we stand a pro-choice queen. I would be her friend, though, not gonna lie. But also, who the fuck eats chests? She, like, throws up a chest that has the claw shot you need in this third temple. And it's... I don't know how to feel about it. It was a really weird fight, and we don't really see toads in any other part of the game, so... I think I may be the reason that that species becomes extinct. Skull Kid, negative 10 out of 10. That is a dead child, essentially. Also, let me just say, fuck those puppets he summons. They're just... they aren't hard to beat at all. They're just annoying. Just really annoying. The sound they make... The sound they make haunts me in my dreams while running through, you know, the... My mind is blanking on the forest. But, you know what I mean. The Lost Woods! Okay. Death Sword. 9 out of 10. Clearly, like, so he really intimidated me the first time I fought him. He has a really interesting design and concept. Like, I want to know his story. I want to know him. But also, like, fuck me, Ghost Man. Just fuck me, Ghost Man. And, you know, like, but I will say, shooting him with an arrow is incredibly difficult. In the second stage of the fight, I'm not even entirely sure the second stage of the fight. I barely remember some of this. So, but, you know, 9 out of 10. I love it. I want to know what's going on. It has really cool, I want to say Japanese culture with how, the sword is stabbed into the ground and it's sealed with the hanging paper with, like, on ropes. I feel like I've seen that in possibly anime, Japanese things. I do not have the best knowledge on this stuff, clearly. But you know what I mean. It's interesting, it's different, and I want to know more. Like, look at this concept art. Oh my god! That is so cool. All of it's incredibly cool. Okay, Darkhammer. An easy 8.75 out of 10, you know, classic lizard man in armor. You know, we love a man in uniform, but still ACAB, just not that kind of uniform. I don't, like, you don't have to take it off to have fun. Look at it. And the no face shown equals cool mystery. You know, very strong. I can see myself riding on his shoulders in the park, you know, so that's a dateable thing. He seems fun, he seems cool, strong, he could probably bench press me, etc. So, you know, 8.75 out of 10. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, Darknut. Oh my god, like million, trillion, whatever out of 10. The single most perfect design and performance. I cannot, like, properly describe how I feel about this guy. Like, you know, the mystery, the prestige. We don't get to see his face, but it just adds to the allure. You know, the best example I have to that is the Mandalorian. But the Mandalorian, Mando does speak. This guy does not speak, which it's even more mysterious, and I love that. Like, oh my god, I am being seduced. I want this man to throw me against the wall, walk confidently towards me, and gently, yet intimidatingly, tilt my chin up with the business end of his sword. Like, who is this man? Oh right, I did not tell you how you're supposed to fight him. I think I forgot to do that for the last couple. But, he has 2 stages. The top left is the first stage. Heavy armor, walks slowly, swings high, and you have to, like, not really swings high, swings wide, and you have to, like, roll around him and, like, do a back slice and everything like that. And the second stage, you know, he loses the armor because the armor falls off, and he takes out a second sword that he has. He ditches the shield, which, by the way, he will throw the shield and sword at you when he is transferring to the second stage, and it can hurt you. And he's a lot faster. Design is incredibly interesting, and he swipes a lot faster with his sword, and can, like, dash towards you, and you're supposed to, like, still roll around him and, like, catch him off guard, do like a shield parry, I would guess, really get him off his rhythm. I love this man. So he is in the Temple of Time. He guards the Dominion Rod. So, I'm not entirely sure what's in that armor. I'm not sure if it's just enchanted armor, or if there is a guy that just sits there perpetually, until, like, the end of time, or whatever. But yeah. Okay, so look, I need to clarify. I have to clarify something. The real Darknut, my love, beautiful, to the left, with dashing armor, dashing design, clearly from the past. And there's the fake Darknut. It's just the guys you fight as regular enemies in Hyrule Castle. I hate that. I don't like that. It's not interesting. It's more reminiscent of, like, other Darknut designs in other games. Especially, like, the helmet design is what I remember seeing it in, Wind Waker, which I did not finish that game, unfortunately. I do not know why. But, yeah, no, just do not like that one. The real Darknut is on the left, guys. Okay, Aerophos, I can't pronounce the word very, very much, but I know it's supposed to be like a play on haha flying. So, it's a classic bratty lizard flying guy. You know, it's an easy choice. I would fuck for sure. But I'm not entirely sure about dateability. He'd probably get really annoying after a while, and just keep talking about his collection of beads. But, yeah, you know, he has attitude, he has confidence. I would enjoy a time with him for a little while, at least. 8.5 out of 10. Okay, I would like to point out that the concept design, which I'm pretty sure this is concept design, just kind of looks like a Dungeons & Dragons character creation, and, you know, we love that. I love the colors that they used in it, by the way. You know, like, you guys know I am an artist. That's very Snake-like, actually. Is it just... He is Snake-like. I like it. Okay, so now we have Phantom Zant. It's like a way watered down Zant, and it's just to pan out time before you fight with him, and he's not really anything, really. It looks cool, like, not gonna lie, but it is just like a hologram or whatever. And I probably could not fuck it, unfortunately. 4.5 out of 10. Just because, it's in the shape of Zant. I need water. Alright, King Bulblin. 7 out of 10. Okay, so I would, hear me out. He's respectable, despite what he has done during the game. It's because he has, I believe it's a culture-specific code of following who is strongest. And it really made me think when he spared Link after seeing that he was strong enough to earn his respect over Ganon. During that last fight, he actually spoke, which, by the way, he can speak, he's cognizant, which means he can 100% give consent, and I like that. I like his I forgot how to talk words. I like his attitude, not gonna lie. It would probably be a one-night stand, and I'd get that out of my system. And I think King Bulblin, he may have had a lot of sketch designs, it looks like, but it's all within the same realm of design idea. I thought it was an interesting thing. I like the horns that he has. They're interesting. They're really, really bull-like. It's funny, Bulblin. Anyways, so, who are the top picks? So all the boss and mini-bosses that are my personal top picks for bachelors. I'm gonna be picking from each or both to really give you a definitive, we have the ratings. Now let's see who really shows up on top. So I chose one from each of the boss and the mini-boss category. So we have for bosses Ganondorf, and we have for Darknut, we have our mini-bosses, Darknut. The reason why I chose Ganondorf over Zant, I'm not entirely sure why. I just like his energy. And now that I look at it, both of these designs are similar in a way, if you know what I mean. They're both regal in a way. I guess I have a type. I'm having revelations as I'm doing this video. I am not sorry. But who is my reigning king of Smashitude? Who is my top pick for the single most fuckable and eligible adversary out of the boss and mini bosses? So out of both the categories, I'm only going to choose one. And of course, congrats, it is Darknut, baby! Look at him! I love him so much, look at that! I know that's not the correct image in the bottom left. I just really thought it was cool, and I wanted to show it to you guys. I probably should have put it on its own slide. Do not assume that I don't know the difference. I know the difference. Okay, so why I chose Darknut. He's hot, okay? It could also not be a he, perhaps, it could be a they, them. It could be a she. It could be literally anyone under that thing. It could be nothing as well. Do not care. It's he's intimidating in a way, and it doesn't feel antagonistic like Ganon does. It doesn't really feel evil. I do not know why I said he was a worker of Ganon. I think I had a lapse of judgment, or lapse of memory, because I have a really shitty memory, and I forgot the Temple of Time is kind of out of Ganon's, control domain. So don't ignore that. Doesn't really feel evil. There are mini-bosses and bosses that just feel evil. This feels more benevolent, he's just doing his job. Also could fuck me in that castle room and then stab me, and I would say thank you. Love it. Alright, that would be the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for sticking around if you did. I do not blame you if you left. And now the audience may ask questions. I will actually answer them in the comments if you really, really want to fight me on any of this. Just know that you are objectively wrong and I am always right. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you are so inclined. Check out my other social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. For some reason, I forgot that existed for a second. And do feel free to check out my Etsy if you like. I have some fun stickers, and I have some Pride beanies if you're interested in that. I'm just, self-promotion, self-advertising. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thank you so much. I will see you guys in another video, whatever that is going to be. Because Minecraft is not working right now for some reason, it keeps crashing, and I can't make videos on it at the moment, so we're just gonna put that on hold. Love you guys. Bye-bye.